Hello and welcome to the Arsenal BiteSize Podcast. I'm your host Clayton at ClaytonsAFC on Twitter. We're back. We've gone AWOL for a few weeks, so apologies for that. But I'm back and I'm joined by my co-host for today, Dream Team Professor Scott. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, all good. Thanks for having us on. Good
Good.
memories as well. Last time I was on, we just said was the reverse fixture where we came away with the win. So hopefully we
It
can
was
carry that through
indeed.
again.
Was that this season or was that last season?
No, it was the start of this season. It was the 3-1.
Yeah, because like you said, we were talking about it before, and you came on, Uncle Mike was on, and like you said, we all got the score predictions right for that one. So let's hope it's something similar today, if that previous score was anything to go by. How are you feeling? Look, before we get into the general kind of preview where we do predicted lineups, go through the score predictions, how are you feeling at the minute? It's obviously the penultimate weekend of the season. City go to Craven Cottage. On Saturday. We're going to Old Trafford. City then have to play Spurs next Thursday. Do you still think we can do it?
Do you know what? I thought you might ask this, and I want to straight back to you because I don't want to ruin your take, because I woke up this morning, I was on Twitter, and you done a post, and it completely mirrors how I've been feeling the last few weeks. So you go with that, and then I'll add to that.
Yeah, no, So if you haven't seen the tweet that Scott's talking about, should I just get it up word for word? No, I won't read it word for word. I basically was just paraphrasing what's in my head in terms of it's the penultimate weekend going into the end of the season. We're literally top of the league right now. Granted, City have a game in hand. We are in a title race with 2 games to go, and there's no fire in me. I feel a little bit apathetic. I feel a little bit numb, just because I feel like the conclusion is inevitable in terms of the outcome of what's going to happen of City just winning the league. And it's such an odd feeling knowing that this Arsenal team is potentially going to put up the second highest ever points total that an Arsenal team has done, broken so many records on the way there, watched some of the best football I've ever seen. And I'm not saying that I haven't enjoyed the journey. I think it's just more like the numbness of that's not going to be enough potentially. It's a very weird feeling. Like I should be feeling over the moon, like that butterfly feeling in your stomach. But I think because there's that 115 charge juggernaut next to us,
You be careful what you say.
Yeah, oh fuck them. But it's a really, really strange feeling. So I think, to answer my own question, of course there's a chance. I think if we can beat Man United and take it to the final day, is it likely that we win it? No, but I don't think it's impossible. But I think as a result, it's a really odd feeling for me. But what about you? You said yours.
Yeah,
feelings kind of mirrored it.
Yeah, I don't in any way sort of envision that City are going to drop points along the way, as well as I mean, we're from a similar area as well, and I've got Tottenham friends who are like, yeah, we don't want to win. I've got West Ham mates who are like, yeah, we're not fussed about winning, and it doesn't look good, does it? And then you've got Fulham flying kites. It isn't looking good for what's left, but yeah, I just don't want to let it be like, I don't know, say we win our next 2 games. I don't want to feel like it's been a bad season just because we haven't won the league, because we know what we're up against, you know.
Well,
and it has been really enjoyable.
Yeah, 100%. And just to add to that, we'll just shout out to a few of the guys in the chat. We've got Tommy Gunn in. Hope you're good, mate. He says, need a masterclass from Leno. Bobby's in the chat. Morning, fellas. And then just to kind of double down on what you said, Marsh is in as well. He said, afternoon all. I've had that exact same feeling for a while, inevitability. Trying to focus on the long-term project, so much to be excited about. And I think that's kind of what you're hinting at there, right? Like, it's not a case of this season not being good or being a failure or bottling this or that. It's a longer term process. And I know that can be a bit of a PR buzzword, but honestly, like, I will put myself out there. I've done it consistently. If you take this project and put it over a 10-year span, I am so confident in what we'll achieve. It's just, I don't know what it is about people loving to put short-term parameters around things, but yeah, I think same as you, same as Marsh, same as a few of the guys in the chat that have said in the last few months, this is such a beautiful journey that we're going on. And honestly, at this level, I feel like we're just getting started. Even though Arteta's been there a long time, I feel like having that seat at the top table, it only started last season. And I feel like we're just getting started there.
What annoys me as well is I can already see it, that people are going to start picking apart like certain losses or results that have happened throughout the season. But like any sort of normal season, you will have those losses and you go on to win the league. But like people will say, oh, the Fulham game, or say the 2 losses against Villa, but you're normally allowed to drop a couple of points here and there.
Yeah.
City just don't let you do it. So
yeah, the bar is ridiculously high. Just before we do get into it, you obviously said you shared this amongst your Discord for the channel that you pod on for the Dream Team game. What's the general? You said there's some Man United fans in there. What's the general feeling from them going into this?
Yeah, well, I've got like Man United friends as well in real life, and yeah, I mean they're all so down at the moment. I don't think they're expecting anything from this, and it almost makes it a little bit harder from our point of view to try and gauge the game, isn't it? Because for every part of us that thinks this should be a walk in the park, it's probably the worst United team in a little while, or through what they've got available. Yeah, I don't know. There's always something in the back of your head that thinks it's not going to be that easy. Still, I don't know if you feel it.
We'll get into it. I'd say I'm more confident than I have been before. I think previously I've been of that mentality that there is the potential that you go there and you play the occasion, you play the badge more than the actual game in front of you with the players there. But I feel less intimidated by those sort of factors with this crop of the players we've got. But then there's that niggling feeling in me where like it's almost like Groundhog Day, where I feel like we've been here before. We've had similar conversations. I was there in 15-16 when Rashford kind of broke onto the scene. It was the Leicester season. We were going in there in good nick. They weren't in their best period. And I think it was around February time they went and beat us. There's been multiple occasions of that. It's one win in the league in 16 at Old Trafford.
Yeah, that graphic keeps going about, doesn't it?
Yeah. And that was in the COVID season. So I don't know. Like there's a multitude of factors to consider, but I'm sure we'll cover them as we go off. And starting with, go for it.
Say that the only thing I've been telling myself with that sort of like Man United away record is that we are slowly sort of breaking some of these down. So we had the City one, we had the Liverpool one, and we're starting
Spurs
to do,
last season. That was another one.
We're starting to do things away from home now as well. So yeah, hopefully we'll carry on.
Nicely said. Yeah, it's a really good point. And one of the factors is obviously going to be the lineup. So the lineup that played against Bournemouth was obviously it's been the same team that's played in a couple of weeks now. So it's Raya in goal, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Tomiyasu. Midfield 3 was Rice, Partey, Odegaard, and up top was Havertz with Trossard and Saka either side. Any changes for you? Go with Firstly, would you change anything? And then secondly, do you think Arteta will?
No, I think we're gonna stay unchanged, and I'm happy with that. The only bit I'm a little bit worried about is there was that Tomiyasu might have missed training this week, but it may have been a precaution rather than an injury. But that would be the only thing that would worry me a little bit, is if that Tommy was out.
If he was out, what do you think he'd do?
This was a question that I had written down to sort of like fire off to you as well, because I feel like I don't want to rip Zinchenko, because I'm not like one of these that are battering him constantly. I do think there's a time and a place for him.
Yeah,
I don't think this is the game.
Also agree. He's like your kind of transitionless teams at home on a sunny day at the Emirates, right?
Yeah, and then I just think, I don't know who's going to be available for them, but you've seen what Rashford can do against us. Garnacho broke through, but then did we get saved by an offside or something?
Well, if we did, we've never heard the fucking end of it. Jesus Christ.
So yeah, I just think him vacating that left back spot is asking for trouble. So I think I'd put Tommy. I think I'd put Kivior there if it came to it.
Me too. I would do the same as well. The only thing I've seen people murmuring this week was obviously with Partey, he brings a lot of tempo in his passing, and he gives a nice aggressive punch in the ability for us to play forward, and adds a bit of tempo that I think we've lacked sometimes without him. But I think as a result, sometimes the games turn a little bit more transitional than we would like. And you saw even in that Bournemouth game, as dominant as we were in that first half, there were periods where we looked a little bit open to transitions. Do you think there's a world where Jorginho could come in?
I know what you mean, because he did the first couple of games. He did look a little bit rusty as well, didn't he? With a few of those like sloppy passes. But I think he's been brilliant, Party, the last couple. No, I don't think we'll mess with it now. I think Arteta does like to keep the team the same.
Yeah.
And we've not had like 2 games a week or anything, have we now, for the last, is it 2 weeks? So
yeah,
I think it will stay the same.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's been absolutely brilliant. It's do you know what, that there is an element in me that would not be surprised if Jorginho does come in, just because I think Man United's only threat to us is transitions. Yeah, I'm sure we'll talk about this when we get into score predictions in terms of how we think the game will go. But I think with Jorginho in there, it just removes that element of risk, I'd say.
I guess it's what way you approach it, because I mean, if we started Jorginho over Party, we'd have more control, probably give away less of the ball, and then we could quieten down like the home fans and that kind of thing. If we start giving the ball away early, and then they do look a little bit dangerous, we could get drawn into that sort of game. But it works up the other way around, doesn't it? We like to bring Jorginho on now towards the end to sort of kill it off.
Yeah.
I'm unsure, but I'd keep it the same.
Yeah. Okay, fair play. I'm actually going to put my neck out there. I think Jorginho will come in. I think it will be the only change. I just think it's as shit as Man United are, they are capable of creating moments in transition, and I think Jorginho over Partey is, in my opinion, the best chance at nullifying that and just completely eradicating and de-risking absolutely anything. I think Partey is perfect for like the Bournemouth game. Saying that though, he played against Spurs and like we were battering them at one point, albeit I don't even think we played that well in the first half. But
do you think that move could in some way sort of depend on whether Bruno's past fit? They're going to probably try and keep it under wraps, but he is their chance creation guy, isn't he? Like, you could maybe take that risk if they haven't got a Bruno.
Yeah, possibly. And I guess that kind of goes nicely onto the Man United team. So did you watch their game against Palace?
No, I didn't actually watch it. I went back and watched it at the highlights of it, but
yeah, the team that played against Palace and lost 4-0 was obviously Onana in goal. Back four was Dalot, Casemiro and Evans. Wan-Bissaka. Midfield was Mainu, Mount and Eriksen. And then the front three was Garnacho, Antony and Højlund. So like you said, Bruno, I think he'll come back in. I think, like he's a very durable player. I think it's very unlike him to miss a game. So I think he'll be back in. Saw Lisandro Martinez was back in training. There's talks of Rashford potentially being back. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. I do think Bruno will come in, and like you said, that might impact what we do in midfield. I just think, regardless of the personnel they've got in the centre, I think Arteta's decision on Jorginho or Partey will just be more of a well-rounded view on what he wants from the Arsenal team, more than looking at United. I think what he does in the fullback area, if Tomiyasu is out, will be more dependent on what United have got in the wings. So everywhere else, I think, will just be focused on us, do our job. Because this is very much like, I know there's this thing in like, I don't know if you find this podding yourself, but like you sometimes second guess what you actually want to say in case it comes back to bite you. But so be it. I just think this is a game where if Arsenal plays to the ability we know we can and gets everything right, I don't see a world in where Man United get close to us in this. And that's why I think Arteta's team selection will be primarily focused on Arsenal, not who will play where for Man United.
Yeah, on what you say about sort of predicting and like podding, like this, you look at that team, you look at the form, the circumstances. This is a game where it's no excuses, really, is there? Like, it is completely on us. And I've been having to talk to quite a few of my Arsenal mates, because a lot of them are like, "Oh, what if? Who's going to do what? Is it going to be Fulham? Is it going to be Spurs? Like helping City, like stopping City?" And I'm like, "We've still got to do our games, like win both of them." And like everything is saying that we need to win this, and if we don't, we can only blame ourselves, I think.
Well, with that in mind, you said it at the start. You were on for the reverse fixture. You predicted, what was the score in that? Was it 3-1?
3-1, yeah. We had a full house.
You predicted it. I predicted it. Mike predicted it. I'm sure a few of the guys in the chat in that, it felt like 3-1 was just like stick 100 quid in the bookies and everyone's rich. But I'm with you. I think it's tough because I think we all know what we're capable of, and we've taken a few hidings there. And I was listening to the Arsenal Vision podcast this week, and Clive was saying, like, teams like Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United in the past, when Arsenal have been in situations like Man United are in now, those teams have gone and killed us. Like, they've just no mercy. They've absolutely ripped us a new one. And I feel like we haven't given that to anyone yet. I know we beat Chelsea 5-0, but like Chelsea had chances, right? It sounds silly to say it wasn't a convincing 5-0. That's not what I mean, but it felt like it could have gone a little bit differently. I feel like this Man United game is prime territory to be the final nail in the coffin for them.
I thought you were going to say for us.
It probably will be now I've said that. But
don't say it. I don't know where they're at sort of head-wise. There was talk that they got called in like 7 a.m. or something for an early training session. Yeah, no idea, but it doesn't look good for them.
How do you see the game going before giving a score prediction?
I do think they will have chances on the counter. And I did go and watch back the highlights from the sort of previous ones, and it is always that sort of either balls down the side or through the middle. It was Garnacho, Rashford, but I think we'll be all right. Yeah, I'm feeling all right about it.
What are you going for then?
I'm going to say that we're going to keep the clean sheets going again. With a 2-0, I think.
2-0. All right. Yeah. Got Tommy Gunn has got the exact same, another clean sheet. 2-0 to the Arsenal.
Yeah.
I'm going for it. I'm going 4-1. I think we're going to kill them. I think, like you, I think they'll get chances. I think the way they play, it's natural that they'll get periods where there's space for them to run into and play a ball into with pacey wingers and runners. And that style of play will always, just through chaos more than structure, create opportunities. I just think the way we play systematically will overwhelm them. You're seeing consistently the number of shots that they're conceding against opposition that are not even as good as us. And I look at that and I don't see a world in which we come away with like a minimum of 18 shots against them. And not just pot shots from outside of the box, like real high quality ones. And I can see it where we go there and we like start to a degree where they're like, what the hell is this? I can see us completely dominating them in different phases of the game. I think there'll be moments, like I said, where in transition, they make us a bit nervous. Their crowd get up for it. They get bursts of momentum. But overall, I think, some of those games where you watch us and it's like we're pinned in the opposition's box. They get the ball and then they lump it and it goes straight back to Saliba, Gabriel, and then we aggressively go again. I think it will be like a Cobra strangle level game. I really believe that. I think we're going to wipe the floor with them. And I hope we humiliate them. I really hope we humiliate them.
I was surprised by the last couple of fixtures we've had, because we have gone back to starting really quickly. That sort of phased out, didn't it? That was more of a last season thing. But both Bournemouth and Spurs.
Mate, that Bournemouth game, like, genuinely, first half hour, could have had 2 or 3. It was ridiculous. Yeah, it's a good point about starting fast. Ironically, I don't actually think we'll go and start fast here. I think it will just be that level of, like, I think we'll start slow, but with intent, and literally just keep the ball, knock it around, move their structure, disorganize them, find spaces, and then slowly work up the gears, like slowly get that stranglehold on them and then snap it. I'm really excited for this game, but like you said, though, it's something that we can't take it for granted. As confident as I am in this, like, it's still, if Arsenal don't win this, it's because something has gone wrong on the pitch from the players, or like complacency is stuck in. I don't think it will be like a tactical masterclass from Man United. It will be our own undoing, but you still have to go there and treat them with respect and earn the right to win, right?
Do you think they'll throw, if Martinez is available, do you think they'll throw him straight in, or do you think they're going to go with the same 2 at centre half? Because that would be worrying.
Mate, if they go with Evans and Casemiro,
with Erdegaard and like Havertz pressing as that like dual tens that we've been doing, that's really bad news.
That is like, yeah. There's words that I feel like are probably not appropriate to say online for what I'm thinking about that. But yeah, I think Martinez probably will go straight in, to be honest. Yeah, it's yeah, I think he'll go straight in. But I think for me, it's just the case of do play our game, don't rise to their occasion, and just like you said, we've gone there, we've broken these hoodoos that we've had. Old Trafford feels like the next one as part of this journey. And yeah, let's fingers crossed we do it. Before we get out of here, Fulham Man City. Score prediction for that?
Oh, I can't see anything other than a City win. But if Iwobi, Leno, a lot of them, Willian could do us a job, would be nice. But yeah, I can't see anything. Probably like a 3-1 win to see.
Yeah, are you going to be watching it?
Yeah, I'll tune in. And the early kickoff might play into our favour, maybe. But yeah, I must admit, the last few games, I've made a point of watching City to try and hope something comes up. And that Wolves game was just so... The last couple have just been so disheartening. You're like, mate, just maybe something could happen. And then within the first few minutes, it's like Haaland, De Bruyne.
Yeah, it was that Forest one for me. I don't know if you watched that game.
Yeah, Chris Wood had his boots on the wrong feet, didn't he?
Bloody hell. It's, yeah, because I think I've been of the mindset most of 2024 that they'll drop points somewhere, and it's just not come. They just do what they do. But then you look at us, and it's like we've only lost one game in 2024 ourselves in the league. Like, I don't even think people can say this is a bottle job or this and that. Like, fair enough. If we go to Old Trafford and we lose, then I think there's like, okay, I'm not going to go as far as saying we don't deserve the title, but like, you cannot go to this, to Old Trafford around this environment, this culture, this toxicity, this playing group that they've got, going for a title and not come away with 3 points. But yeah, the level that City have set is just relentless. And I feel for Liverpool fans. That's all I can say. These past few years, I can finally empathise with it now.
They're defeated, aren't they? They keep telling us. I keep seeing like videos of them saying, this is what we've been through. And yeah, we know how it feels. No.
Yeah. But
out of all the games they've got left, which one do you think could be the biggest stumbling block? Is it this one or is it Spurs with their... Because they still have got stuff to play for.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think both Fulham or Spurs could do something. I know Spurs are shit and they're like... Yeah, but the Spurs against us did play well. Let's forget the result for a minute. The first half, in particular, I wouldn't say we played a 3-0 game. It's just efficient moments, incredible variance, and efficient moments and incredible variance. Spurs still played well. Like, I was surprised. I think if they get their shit together, I think they're able to, you know how we've said with Man United, they're able to create momentum and chances in moments. I think Spurs are still capable of doing that, despite what's happening with them in 4 losses in a row. Granted, I didn't actually watch them against Liverpool. I don't know if you saw that game.
Yeah, not good.
But what do you think, though, about the narrative that obviously Spurs fans don't want to beat City, right? Do you think the players would actually try and throw the game?
No, I don't think it'll come into it at all. I don't think Ange would stand for it in any way. And yeah, I don't think it would sort of come into their thinking either.
Nah, neither do I. I found it funny because I feel like there's people online that actually believe that, but like, I think professionals are just they're completely different to fans. Like they are at the level they are for a reason in terms of how strong they are mentally. Like, regardless of the context of what's going on, they do not want to lose a football game. Yeah,
I don't know how you could even go about doing that. Like playing. City might make you look like you're doing it by all means, but no, I think they will still be giving it their all. And I was looking at it and like, if Liverpool beat Villa and Spurs managed to do something in that City game and obviously beat Burnley, it's going to come down to the wire for them and Villa, isn't it? For the
true.
maybe. So yeah, they can't throw it. There's no way.
But yeah, as we also said offline before we get out of here, my birthday is the final day of the season, and yours is a couple days after. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed, we take it to the final weekend, and we're able to somehow have one of the best birthdays ever. But let's see. It's one more hurdle to get through. Well, two if we count City in there against Fulham. But in terms of what's in our control, it's just go to Old Trafford, play the best we can, come away with 3 points, and take it to Everton. Any more from you before we get out of here?
No, that's it from me. Yeah, looking forward to it. Like I said to you yesterday, managed to bag a ticket for that final game as well by pure chance. So yeah, buzzing with that.
Nice one. I'll see you there. Before we do get out of here, do you want to plug your pod? You're doing a couple pods now, right?
Yeah. So they're both around Dream Team. So I've got the fantasy football game. Yeah, I've got my own pod, just a solo talking head pod with like top players to target and stuff like that. But I'm also part of the Dream Team Tonic podcast as well. We've got like a big community of players. We pod once a week, and then we do a deadline stream as well. So yeah, you can check that out on Twitter at Dream Team Prof or at Dream Team Tonic. They do a Euro game as well that's coming out today, I think. So
nice. I might even check that out myself.
Good fun if you haven't tried it.
Nice one. Yeah, cheers for jumping on. And for anyone watching in the chat, cheers for joining. Please, as always, drop the stream a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We, obviously a couple of weekends to go, and we're actually looking at doing a few things different next season, which I'll talk about a bit more in detail in the summer. But if anyone listening is interested, I have to say Arsenal fans, by the way. So if there are Man United fans listening, this is not for you. But if there's Arsenal fans listening that have an interest in podding on a like consistent-ish basis, reach out to me in my DMs. Would like to chat to a few people about something. But yeah, that's everything from us. Thanks for joining. Let's hope we. I just. All I've got in my head is City losing at Fulham and us going and winning at Old Trafford, and like the kind of will-torn moment. I might even wear the gold kit on Sunday.
It's even more nerve-wracking if that does happen, though. I'm not even prepared for that.
I know. But yeah, let's forget City for now. Focus on us. Go to Old Trafford. Just get these fucking 3 points. Cheers, Scott. Up the Arsenal.
See you later. Up the Arsenal.